Good morning and welcome to Wednesday's Adapted Yoga. Now, adapted is just I'm adapting it for people with high blood pressure, diabetes, joint problems. But you can also adapt it up if you want, and you can also omit stuff if it's not ready really for you. Make sure that you're listening to your body the whole time. That if you feel something isn't right, it probably isn't, so don't do it. Today you will always, as always, need a chair, just in case you can't get to the floor or you need help getting to the floor. You may like a pillow or a blanket, something to place your head on, because we're going into a headstand if your blood pressure allows it. You may need a band to help with movements of the legs, and you might want a block or two. But again, we can use the chair, and I'll show you a version with the chair as well. So just having those around if you need them. And like I said, if anything, especially with headstands, we're going upside down. So if it's too much, your blood pressure is too much, then you don't do it. Again, I will show you another version for people whose blood pressure won't allow them to go upside down. What else do I need to tell you? Oh, also, if you've had any unexplained nosebleeds, if you've had a tooth extracted, if you've got any pressure behind the eyes, you shouldn't be doing headstands either, or head below the heart. So again, with everything, we're going to take our time. We're going to listen to our body, and if something doesn't feel right, we're going to stop. Okay? I'm not there with you, so make sure somebody, if you are going to try something, that there's somebody there and you let them know so that they can phone an ambulance if you need to. But like I said, listen to your body. If it's not right for you, don't do it. So the first thing we're going to start off with is just bringing ourselves to this mat. Now, we're starting this week again, we're following our chakras, and we're finishing with our crown chakra. Hence, we're going on to our head. Now, this is like a white, bright light that comes out of the head. That's how we should see it. And the sound is A-U-M. Or you can do O-M, or you can do hummingbird. So any kind of humming version, it tends to be for the head area. This deals with the brain, the top of the head, the pituitary gland, but it also deals with the whole of our body, and it deals with our connection to our spirituality, and it helps us to think about our spirituality. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to think about a prayer, if you have a certain prayer that you go to for your own spirituality, or a word or a saying that brings you to your version of spirituality. Like I said, you could do the sound, or you could do I am connected, and then we're also going to use Pushpatura Mudra, or handful of flowers, and we're just taking our hands out in this position and we're having them down by our side. And this is kind of opening ourselves up and letting anything, spirituality, any questions or answers that want to flow in from the universe or from our God into us. So we're bringing ourselves into mountain pose. We're rolling our shoulders back and down. We're tucking our chin in, pulling our pelvic floor in, and breathing. So we're going to lift our arms up, breathing in, stretching the arms up towards the ceiling, and as we breathe out, let's get rid of all that stale air. Breathe it all out through the mouth. 2 more of these. Bringing all that new fresh air, livening every cell through the body. Breathing out all the rubbish. Last one. And breathing to bring it back. So, we're going to work on our neck. What we're going to do is drop our chin down and we're rolling it from side to side, trying to bring the chin to the side. Now, if this is too much on the neck, it feels too much, then just go into a nice forward, backward, side, side, twist, twist, whatever feels more easier for you. So from here, we're taking the chin down and we're letting it roll. We're focusing on the breathing, but also on that movement as we move the neck. All of them ligaments moving. Shouldn't just be in the neck. It should go all the way down the back, all the way down the arms. And then we're going to bring it back to the centre and lift it back up. So we're going to take it back. Now if we need to, we can hold on to the neck so that we're protecting it as we're going back. It's up to you if you need to hold on to it. So again, if you feel that it's too much on the neck, then just take it out, don't do it. Especially if you've got slip discs in the neck. This time we're going to look as if we're watching a tennis match in the air. So again, we're bringing it over towards the shoulders. But again, listen to your body. So again, taking our hands out. We're still watching and feeling, breathing, and where it's going. What we do with our jaw also can add to that stretch. And again, we're bringing it back to our centre and we're bringing it back up. Okay, so let's do our forward backward bend. Now again, I'm going to reduce this down so that I'm working for people with lower back problems and shoulder problems. So I wouldn't be taking my arms up too high, and I'm going to be bending my knees. So we're taking the arms as far as we feel we can. So if it's just above shoulder level, that's fine. We're bending the knees. We're keeping that back straight. We're bringing the hands round so that they're coming up by the shoulders. We're taking them out. We're stretching up and stretching back a touch by pushing the hips but not dropping the head. We're going to breathe out. We're going down. We're breathing in. Let's do 4 more. And bring it back down. So we're going to turn and look over the shoulder. We're turning our head. We're coming back to the centre. We're breathing out here. Then we're breathing in, or we're just not breathing out. Again, keeping it nice and slow. And our head is doing the leading. Our body's just following where our head's going. And bringing it back. So we're going to take our legs slightly wider than our hips, keeping our toes pointing forward. And we're just reaching down to the side by our leg as we breathe out and bringing it back up. Breathe out, take it to the other side. Keeping that head in line. It's not the head moving, it's just the waist. As well as working the thighs, you'll feel it also working that waistline and the side muscles. I think we've got one more. And bringing it back up. Lovely. So we're going to keep our legs where they are. I'm just going to turn the camera down a touch. So from here, having our feet facing forward, we're just going to turn our foot out. We're going to bring our foot onto the tiptoe at the back, and we're going to push the knee forward and try and drop the hip towards the floor so that we feel the stretch through here. And we're bringing it back up, and we're going to turn in. Now, if you need a chair to hold on to, you're perfectly welcome to having a chair. Have a chair in front of you. Turn your toe, push the hip down. You've always got that chair if you need to, but it's the front of the thigh you're trying to feel stretch. Let's bring it up, turn it in, turn it out. Again, you can have the chair, bend the knee, push forward. And let's do the last one. bring it back round. So we're going to take it into a squat and lift up. So from here we're bringing our hands into a prayer. We're turning our toes out. We're going to bend down to squat and then lift the arms. Take them out again above the head or in line with the shoulders. Take them down. Bring them up. Take them down. Bring them up. Remember, if you've got that chair, you can just go up and down while holding the chair. Let's do 2 more. 2. And our last one. Lovely. Bringing it down. So we're keeping the feet where they are. We're going to go into a squat or goddess pose. Again, you can hold onto that chair if you need to. Now we're going to move the legs. I'm going to move that over a little bit so you can see what I'm doing with the knee. You're going to lift the toe and you're going to bring the knee in and out and down. Lift the other toe, turn the knee in and out and down. Okay, so we've got the chair. We're lifting the toe, we're turning the knee in, we're turning it out, we're going down. We're lifting the toe up, we're rolling the knee in, we're bringing it back, we're dropping the heel, we're going down. Let's try it on here. So we can have our hands in prayer. Lift and turn and down. Lift and turn and down. Let's do 1 more on each side. Lift and turn and down. And these are working the knees and the hips and just rolling them in and out. Now we're going to come back up. We're going to turn our toes in and we're bringing ourselves into a forward roll. So you can have your hands here, you can have your hands straight down. You're going forward, keeping that back nice and straight. If you want to, if you've got blood pressure again, bring your hands to the chair. Let your elbows relax. And I'm going to spin round so you can see my back. So we're coming down and we're keeping the back nice and straight. We're not curling. We're trying to push down. Even if we have to bend the knees to get that back nice and straight, that's fine. If we can, we let the head drop. This will be a nice indication with blood pressure problems on how your blood pressure is going to feel. And then we're going to lift the head. We stay here for a second, again, just so that blood can go down. And again, we can have a think. Then we can take the arms out and we push with the thighs to lift up. Again, you can take them above your head or you can take them to the shoulders, depending on what your shoulders say. So let's do another one. Let's see if I can take it all the way to the floor. Taking it down. Letting the head drop if you can. And it's again just letting the body know that we are going to be going upside down today. So let's see how you feel at the moment. And again, we're going to lift the head up, looking forward. Bend the knees if they're not already bent. Stretch the arms out. Let's try 1 more wherever you want to go. Look forward. Bend the knees. lift up. Bring the hands down, step the feet back together. So we're going to bring ourselves into mountain pose, but with our hands down in a handful of flowers pose. So bringing our fingers together and encouraging and allowing anything that wants to come in to come in. You can always have it up here as well. You'll see some people that tend to bring their hands, especially in church. They have their hands like this, and again, it's the same sort of thing here, or lifted, whatever feels a bit more natural and more for you. We're going to tighten up our thighs, tighten up our legs, pull our pelvic floor in, pull our shoulders back and down, tuck our chin in. Again, think about our spirituality, think about all the beautiful things that we have in life, the air that we breathe, flowers, birds, food, water, how amazing the ecosystem that we've got is. How thankful we should be to be here, to see this, to be caretakers of this most beautiful world. And not scared of death, but be thankful for life. Every morning we open our eyes, give thanks for that. So, I'll do the first one with the chair, the second one without, but still at a reduced rate. Choose your own position. So, from here, we're breathing in. Again, the arms lift to wherever they feel more comfortable. We breathe out. We take ourselves into that forward bend. We bend the knees if we need to. We keep the head up if we have high blood pressure. We can drop it down if we feel we can. But we're constantly listening to our body. We're going to breathe in, try and straighten the legs to work the back of the knees. Pull the shoulders back, pull the stomach in, try and get the back as straight as possible. We're going to step back with our right foot onto our tiptoe into a warrior lunge. Now you can keep your hands here. You can always bring them to the knees, you can always push back, lift them up, wherever you want to go. We're going to step back into down dog, bringing the 2 feet flat to the floor, pushing the shoulders back, keeping the ears in line with the arms. Feel that stretch through the back, through the bum. Again, if the knees want to bend, let them bend, completely up to you. Come up onto your tiptoes, and then we're rolling forward. We're bringing the shoulders back, pushing the heels, squeezing the stomach muscles. And then we're going to drop the hips, roll the shoulders back, lift up into cobra. We're pushing back into down dog. We're going to lift that left foot in the air. Look forward, bend the knee into the chest and step it down. Onto that tiptoe at the back, push the knee forward. Come back to wherever you want to, wherever you feel comfortable. Bring the hands down, step in to that forward bend. Lift the head, bend the knees, breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, take it forward. Breathe in, bring it up. So again, that leg stretches. We're trying to push that back and that chest down, squeezing the stomach in, trying to tilt the bum up towards the ceiling. Bring the hands down, step back with that left foot. Now you can always bring the knee down, you can always come up and lift. If that's easier, if that's better for you, or you can stay there, let that hip drop. Bring the knee down if you need to. Knee goes back. See if you can spring if you're on your knees. We lose the spring in our step after about 40. So the more you can kind of spring, the better it is. We're again coming up onto them tiptoes. Pushing back. Coming forward. Bringing the knees down. Move them back a little. Come forward and down. Shoulders roll back. We're lifting up to cobra. You can push back to the knees and then see if we can spring. If you can't, don't worry, just step up. Lift the right foot up in the air. Look forward. Bend the knee in towards the chest. Step it forward. Bring yourself so that you feel comfortable wherever you are. Push back. Big step in into a forward bend. Lift the head, bend the knees if you need to. Breathe in. Lift up, reach back. Breathe out. Bring it down. Lovely. So, as we're going into our crown chakra, we're going to kind of work through all our chakras as we move up. So we're going to bring ourselves into our root chakra and bring ourselves into tree pose. Now, you can have your chair and you can have your hand on the chair. You can have your foot here and you can lift the toe. So you're turning the knee from in to out and you're lifting up. You can always pull everything in and then let go. Bring the hands to prayer just by the chest or lift them above your head. Take it out to the side. It's completely up to you. If you feel you can't do standing, you can always do tree on a chair. So you can sit down, sit near the edge, don't go all the way back. Flex your foot, bring your foot up and just place it here. But make sure that that foot is flexed, that you're not letting it drop down like that. Otherwise it won't protect your knee and it won't protect your hip. Again, if that, trying to get the foot up there, is still too much, you can always get a block and just place the outside edge of your foot on the block so that the knee's dropping out to the side. So we're still working that knee, we're still working that hip, but we've taken the lift and the stretch out of that hip. Sometimes, especially if we've had replacement knees and replacement hips, we can't do that. So we want to make sure that we don't put too much pressure on it. We can do it here. And then you can just bring your hands in and hold it there. And that can be your tree. So you choose your version. Remember, we're going to do it twice. The first one I'm going to start off low. The second one I'm going to take it up a little bit further. But you don't have to. So we'll start with our one leg. We're tightening everything up. We're putting our pelvic floor in. This is the same thing if you're sitting down. You're tightening up all them legs. You're pulling that pelvic floor. You're bringing the knee in and the foot in. You're bringing your hands wherever you want them to be. You're lifting that foot. Find your spot. Pull them stomach muscles in. Pull that abdominal in. Pull that pelvic floor. And then we're bringing the knee in, we're bringing it down. Let's move the weight over, tighten up them legs, pull everything in. Turn the foot, bring the hands in, lift the toe. And turn it in. Let's bring it down. So we're going to take it up a little higher. Now you can always bring your foot to here so that it's on your calf. You can take it above the knee and push it in towards the thigh so that you're pushing there. It's not great for me. I can never do this one. Never stays. But you don't want to push it against the knee. That's the one place you don't want to. You can turn the toe around so that the palm, sole of the foot is facing up, and you can hold onto it with your hand. As long as there's no pain in the knee or the hip, then you're fine to hold it here. You may find that you can, if you bend the knee, it'll sit. Again, if you want, you can have the chair, and if it stays there, you can hold it there. You can bring the hand either into prayer, you can have it by the leg. Like I said, you can have the chair on the other side and hold it there. It's up to you. So you're going to choose your position. It doesn't have to be here. And then we're going to bring it down. So we're going to change sides. So moving the weight onto that standing leg, pulling all the muscles in, bringing the leg up. Bend the knee if you need to. Hold the foot if you want to. Find your position. And again, undoing and bringing it down. Keep your legs a little gently. So we're going to take ourselves to the floor. Okay, if you've got the chair, you may want your padding. If you've got bad knees, you might want to put it underneath. Now, if you've got a particular knee that's bad, you're going to start with your one knee that isn't. If you cannot get to the floor, you stay on the chair. I will show you some versions on the floor. Again, if your blood pressure doesn't like going on the floor, then don't worry, sit on the chair. So just sit down and wait for me to show people how to get down and get back up again. And then again, I will show from the floor, and then I will come to a chair version. So please give me time. Don't just think, oh, Mara's on the floor, I'll get to the floor. No, if you need to stay on, if you can't get to the floor medically, then you stay on the chair. I will show you a version for the chair. So we're going down. Now it's going to be my right leg, which I'll say is my bad leg because I've got the blanket there. So we're bringing our hands down to the chair, bending our knees. We're bringing our good knee down to the floor. Then still the weight's all through the hands. It's still not really going onto the knee. We bring our hand down. We bring ourselves down onto our bum. We'd get out the same way. So we'd have the blanket, the pillow cushion next to our good knee. We'll bring ourselves in with both hands, or one hand on the floor, one hand on the chair. The weight's in the hands as we push to the knee. Our bad leg comes down. We lift ourselves up. We can also take a little rest on the chair if we need to from getting ourselves up. So let me get myself back down again. I went down a slightly different way, but the same sort of principle. I didn't use my bad knee, I used my good one. So now we're on the floor. You may need a band for this. So I'm going to get you to lie yourself down, and we're going to go into Maltese cross. We're bringing the knees. Now, if you can have your legs flat, or you can have the legs bent. You can start, and in fact we will start with the knees bent, and then I will take it up. So you're going to start on the floor here. We're going to bring the leg in, take it out to the side, and take it across the body, so that we're bringing it over the top of the leg. And then we're going to bring it in, and we're going to try and breathe out and bring our nose up to our chest, to our knee. And we're going to do that as we're breathing. So on the chair, very, very similar thing on the chair. And again, I'll do it with the band. You can do this with the knee the same way, sitting back, so that you're right against your chair. You're pulling the knee in, you're taking the knee out, you're taking it across, you're pulling it down. But we're going to do the same thing with the leg. So, if you're on the chair, you may be able to have the leg, the band on the leg. You can pull the leg up towards you, take it out to the side, bring it across the body, lift it up and pull in. So you can do the same thing with the knee or with the band, the same thing on the chair on the floor. I'm going back to the floor. So I'm going to start with this one with the knee bent. So here we go. We're using the one hand, the other hand goes to the floor. We're keeping the shoulder down. We're pulling the knee in towards the chest. About 3 breaths. Then we're going to bring it out to the side. The second time we're going to try this, if we've got a rope, we'll use the rope, the band, and we'll have a straight leg. We're trying to keep that hip down, we're trying to keep the shoulder down. We don't want to roll over with it. We're bringing it back to centre. We're changing hands, bringing that hand down. We're bringing the leg across, but we're keeping this knee up. We don't want to roll over, we don't want to pull that shoulder up. Then we're bringing it back in. We're going to grab hold of the leg. We're pulling it in towards the chest. And then as we breathe out, we're going to lift our chin up towards our nose, nose up towards our knee. We're going to hold it here for 3 breaths. And then we're taking it down and bringing the leg down. So let's try the other side. So bringing the leg up, grab hold, take the hand down, pull the leg into the chest. Take the hand on the inside, take the leg out to the side. Feel that opening through the hips. Bring it back. Take it across the body. Bring it back to centre. 2 hands, pull the leg in. Breathe out, lift up. Doesn't matter if your nose doesn't touch. The next one won't, nobody's nose will touch, don't worry. And we're bringing it down. So, I'm going to bring the rope in. And I'm going to straighten my leg. Now the leg that's straightened, the toes stay up in the air. The head stays down. You're holding as close to your foot as you can. Bringing the other hand down. Now try and get your shoulder of the hand that's lifting up. You don't want it lifting up in the air. You want to try and pull the shoulder down, even if it means sliding the hand further down the elastic. And you want to try and get that knee as straight as possible. So again, stretch down the elastic or the band as much as you need to. This is for the back of the knee. So we're keeping our head down. We're pulling the leg in, keeping that foot flat on the floor so we're not lifting the foot off the floor. You'll feel it pulling through the back of the leg. And again, this is going to be the same principle on the chair, but keeping that back nice and straight. We're taking it out to the side. We're keeping that hip down, we're keeping the shoulder down. It doesn't matter if it doesn't go very far. We're pulling and holding, so we're working the muscles in that arm as we're pulling and holding. We're bringing it back. We're changing hands. We're placing our hand down. We're taking this foot across the body, but we're not letting it go all the way. And we're keeping that bottom toe pointing up. We'll feel it here. Now the knee will want to bend because it's like, ah, it really hurts. But we want to, if we even have to loosen a bit more, we want to try and push that knee so that we feel it right here. This is the IT band. It's a big ligament that is really tight on our thighs. And the more we sit down, the more it shrinks. So we're bringing it back. We're bringing the two hands up this time. We're holding onto the rope. We're pulling in. Again, trying to keep that leg straight, even if we have to drop it. And then we're breathing out and we're lifting our head up. If you can get the shoulders off as well, into a scrunch. Get that stomach muscle. And then bring everything back up. Bend the knee. Unhook it. Bring the other knee up. Let's bring it up. Straighten the leg. Take the hand down. Straighten that other leg. As soon as you do that, you might have to release. Pull that in. Keep pushing that knee as straight as possible. Let's take it out to the side. I'm kind of cheating here because I've got a wall, can't go any further. But even if you've got a wall, it doesn't matter. Let it rest there. It's called restorative. I'm just doing restorative yoga. Come to my 8:30 class on a Friday night. We do a lot of just lying around for a long time. And then bring it back. Swap hands. Bring the foot across. Yeah, breathe into it. And bring it back up. Two hands. Pull in. Ooh. Breathe out. And bend the knee. Bring everything down. Lovely. So, stay in there. I don't know what I'm doing next. Oh, yes. So, I'm going to get you to roll over onto your hands and knees. And again, chair people, just give me a second. So, from here, we're rolling over. We're going to tuck our chin, lift ourselves up, push ourselves into child, but keeping our toes pointed. Then we're coming up. Now again, if you need to, you can always bring yourself onto here if you need the knees. If you can't do this, you find that your knees are too much, you can't move onto it, then you're going to do this curling. So you're going to curl backwards and forwards. So if you find that you can't go onto your knees, you can stay here that we've just come out of, and you can just curl and keep making that curl a bit more. If you wanted to, you could roll onto your knees and you could move into ruddy goose, which is into cow, into cat, push into child. Coming forward to cow, to cat, to child. So that the spine continuously moves. If you're on a chair, then it's cat and cow on a chair. So sitting down, squeezing in and squeezing back. Okay, so we're breathing out and breathing in. It just depends on which version you want to do. But we're trying to just let it flow with our breathing. Let's do 2 more. And bring it in. Lovely. So we're taking it into camel. Now, camel on a chair. You're going to sit to the front of your chair, bringing your hands to the back. Squeeze your chest forward, squeeze your shoulders, look up to the ceiling. And then bringing it down. So that's camel on a chair. We're bringing it to the floor. Oh, sorry. We're going to go camel and then child. And then camel and then child. Now, if again you feel that you can't do with the blood pressure, then just go camel and come to normal, straight. Okay, so you don't have to go to child if you don't want to, but the option's there if it's just that you can't get to the floor, but your blood pressure's not too bad. Always check that blood pressure. If you're on the floor again, if you can't do your knees, then we'll get you to go up. So if you're staying on your back, you can't get onto your knees, again, that's fine, don't move. So if you've been here, all you're going to do now, keeping the hands down, is that you're going to lift up and push down. So lifting up and pushing down. And if you wanted, you could always bring it in, bring it down, pushing up, bringing it down, bringing it in. Okay, so that's the option if you can't go to your knees. If you can get to your knees, you can always use something to put extra padding. You could bring the blocks in. You'd have the blocks by your heels. You're coming down from hero. You're going to push up and in to camel, and then down to child. Okay, so we're all going to do our versions 5 times. Okay, here we go. Whichever version you're choosing. Breathing in, breathing out. going to stay here. So if you're in child, you can stay in child. If you're on your back, keep your legs together. If you're standing up, then you're just going to sit up straight. Lovely. We're now bringing it a little bit further. So this is going to all be determined on your blood pressure status. If you've got blood pressure problems, if you've got any kind of, like I said, any problems with the head, pressure behind the eyes, an obstructed, you know, you've just had a tooth taken out, nosebleeds, then you shouldn't be doing upside down. We can always do legs up in the wall. So you're going to choose and see how you feel with this. But again, I'll give you sort of versions if it's the case that you just can't get to the floor, but you still like to do some stuff for your head. I'll show you a version on the chair. So this is rabbit, and I'm going to get rabbit and show you full rabbit, and then anyone that feels okay that they can do it, they can try that. If you can't, then I will give you the alternatives after. So, rabbit. You can grab something for your head. Putting your head on the floor will hurt. It's not easy. So you want to have something on the floor to pad your head on. You're trying to put, and I'm going to move my hair back, you're trying to put the top of your head, the top of the, right at the flat part, not here and not here, even though you can move it, but very slowly. If you've got neck problems, again, I wouldn't do this. I will show you an alternative in a few seconds. So, but as long as you haven't got any high blood pressure, diabetes, or neck problems. So here we go. From here, your hands are down. They're your protection. You're trying to get your head as close to your knees as possible. So again, you have to pull that belly in. You're breathing out. You're bringing the head down. And you're just having your head here. You don't have to move any more than this. You're just keeping the head in one particular spot. Then from there to come out, you roll back to child. You stay here for about the same amount of breaths as you did up. Think about how you feel. You're tucking the chin in and you're rolling up. And then you're very slowly bringing that head up. Now, even if you haven't got blood pressure problems, your blood pressure will go up. It's acupressure, so you're bringing pressure to the head. And this is exactly what I'm going to get you to do if you can't do it. So, if you're on the floor, I'm going to get you to stay on your back. If you sat up, you can lie back down again. But you're going to lie down. You're going to bring your hands to the head and you're going to push onto your head. And that's all you're doing. And you're going to do the same thing if you're sitting in a chair. If you're sitting in the chair, I'm just going to do it from here. Saves you getting up. I'll have to change the thinking. If you're sitting in the chair, sit up straight. Bring your hands to your head and push down. And relax. So I'm going to do one more. I'm going to spin around. I'm going to do rabbit now, but you do one more. Hands on your head, lying down or sitting down on the chair, whichever you prefer. So I'm going to do rabbit, but I'm going to move my neck if you feel you can. For anyone doing the hand on the head, you're not moving. You're just holding your head down. You're just thinking about bringing pressure towards here. You can always tap the head at that point as well if you want. It's quite nice. But you're not going to do any movement. For people here, if you want to and you haven't got any neck problems, then you can. So hands down, head down, and all you're doing is moving the head forwards and backwards a little.
and then bringing it down. So remember, stay here as long as the same amount of breaths that you were doing there. Woo, I think I might just be able to get the last one in. And come back up.
So our last one is going to be headstand, but again, we're not necessarily going into headstand. If you've got blood pressure problems, but you're on the floor, or neck problems, again, I don't want you going into headstand. So you can always, from lying down, which you've just done that, all you're going to do is bring your legs up and have them up in the air. You can have them against the wall if you want, or you can just have them freestyling in the air. You can let the legs go apart, you can have them together and pull them in. Anything you want, as long as the legs are slightly raised above the head. So you're going in the opposite direction. If you're on a chair, and it's the fact that you just can't get to the floor, it's not necessarily that you've got blood pressure problems, just can't get to the floor, got bad knees. Bring the pad into your chair, stand in front, bend your knees, bring the top of your head down, and place your head on the chair. And this is a nice, simple way to get the head down, get the body used to being in this position, but without actually going into a headstand. When you're coming out, make sure that you bend your knees, you think about what's happening, lift the head, stay in this position for a little bit, about the same amount of time as you were down there, before you start to bring yourself back up, or even just let yourself sit down in a chair, see how you feel. Make sure that you feel okay. And for our people who are on the floor, who haven't got any high blood pressure problems, but Thursday morning is the good time for you to come to class, then you're just going to bring the head down, hands either behind the head, if you prefer, making it out a triangle with your elbows, or hands by your side, lifting up and walking the feet in. Keeping the feet on the floor. Come to a Tuesday night if you want to go and try to go up, or come to my normal classes. Can't touch you though. Or find a wall. And again, we're bringing our knees down. We're taking ourselves back into child, and we're staying here. We're letting that blood come down. We're letting that body go, what the hell? We're tucking our chin in. Unless you're flat down on the floor, you're just staying there. You can pull the knees in towards your chest if your legs have been up in the air. You're just bringing yourself up. Making sure you feel okay. Lovely. So, we're just going to do a little neck stretch for the neck. So, if you're lying down on the floor, you can stay there. I'm going to get everyone on the floor to lie down. Anyone on the chair, you're just going to do the same sort of thing, but sitting down on the chair. So if you're on the floor, bring yourself down. Remember, your legs can be bent or they can be straight, completely up to you. You're just going to lift your head up and look behind you. So we'll go into a kind of a fish position. Then bring the chin back down and turn the ear so that you're looking over the shoulder. Bring it back to centre, take it over the other side. Bring it back to centre, bring the ear towards the shoulder. And to centre and towards the other shoulder. And bring it back to centre. Let the body relax, turn the palms over again, bring the hands so that the palms are facing up. The knees want to come